Please do not lean against the train doors. Next station, Marina Bay. In Haiwan, change at the next stations. The Circle Line or North-South Line.
Morning and welcome to a brand new day here in Singapore on my way home from the long Sri Lanka journey. Well, I say long, 5 weeks, pretty long trip, but feels like a blink of an eye. It was just like yesterday that I passed through here on Christmas Eve. We're having a 24-hour layover here, which I've purposely done so that I can go out and explore Singapore properly, because I've passed through this airport a few times but never gone out. So today we've arrived at 7 a.m, brand new day, so I'm gonna go through immigration and then we'll head out and actually explore Singapore. I've booked a hotel overnight here at the airport just to make it easier, because I fly out at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, so stay in the airport overnight, but for the entire day go out, explore, and then come back in the evening, relax, hopefully get a nice sleep. The flight left Colombo just after midnight, 3.5 hours, 4 hours. I got no sleep as expected because I just cannot sleep on planes, so I'm pretty shattered, but we'll get through the day. I'll go get myself a coffee, just take in as much as we can for the 24 hours that we'll be here. Just about to head through immigration. Got a big plaque here asking whether you submitted your SG arrival card, which I have. Before you go through immigration and get out of Singapore, you've got to submit that card. I already did it online yesterday, but if you haven't, there's kiosks here where you can do it, but it's just one of those things you got to do before heading to the airport. What do they have here? Once again, a very advanced airport. Looks like they've got some cleaning robots here charging up. Right, that was all automated. I did not have to interact with anyone to get through. Fast, efficient process as is expected here in Singapore. And we're just at the duty-free area. Customs, nothing to declare. Alright, we're all cleared through immigration and customs. Right now I'm heading to the Jewel, which is the world's largest indoor waterfall. And then we're going to be leaving the airport. In terms of what I want to do in these 24 hours in Singapore, well, there's really not much of a plan. Like, I haven't looked too much into what there is to do. Of course, the major tourist sites like Gardens by the Bay, Marina Bay Sands. So really the goal will be to go around that area. I had a look on maps quickly. It's like pretty much right next to each other, just in like downtown area, walk around, explore the area, and from there, who knows, we'll see what Singapore has to offer. Basically, I want to just see, as someone who doesn't know much about what there is in Singapore, how easy is it to get to the major sites like that? How easy is it to navigate and find places? It's going to be a bit similar to my explorations of Sydney and Melbourne back in Australia, where I only relied on public transport and I didn't really have much of a plan outside of the major sites, which really you go to them, you tick them off, and then what's next, basically. But yeah, I want to go to the Jewel. That's something I wanted to see last time in the airport, but you have to go through immigration for that, which last time I was just transiting through, so I didn't bother with that. So this is completely detached from the main airport, which you can guess why. Nothing seems to be open here quite yet, still a bit early. And that's the star of the show in here. Well, this feature, as you can see from there to there, is the star of the show. The world's largest indoor waterfall, only it doesn't seem to be flowing at the moment. So we may have to come back a little bit later, which is fine, because the hotel's right here. You can see sign there, Yotole. So yeah, the hotel is somewhere around here. Try to figure out the way to get out of this airport. So I'll have to find the MRT, Mass Rapid Transit line. There's one swap I think I have to do. Alright, I've got myself a Starbucks coffee, trying it for the first time. That's right, we don't have Starbucks in Australia. It failed spectacularly because no one likes Starbucks. It's pretty much all closed. Starbucks is the only place open, so I need a coffee. I need to wake up. I've got a whole day of exploring ahead of me. So I'm going to pump this coffee and then I can just see the sign over there, MRT, Train to City. MRT, yeah. Let's go. Right, here we are. 1 minute to go. I believe this is the right one.
Expo. Change at this station for the downtown line. Expo.
Right, here we go. Yes, so we need to swap to the downtown line, which has gone on the line from Changi Airport to Tanah Merah, stopping at Expo Station. Alright, downtown line. Right, this is very similar to Sydney Metro, particularly with those barriers there. And yeah, I'm pretty sure these would also be driverless, given that's kind of the way Singapore is also going with automation. But yeah, this definitely reminds me a lot of Sydney Metro. Yeah, go back and watch my video from like a year ago. I was in Sydney and I was trying out the Metro. It was pretty soon after it opened, and yeah, very impressed by it. Singapore, same thing. You can also, similar to Sydney, also you can just tap on with your bank card, Visa, MasterCard. Don't see any rubbish, don't see any homeless people, always a good sign. I will say I like the design of the Sydney Metro stations better. Like, this is just more utilitarian, like it's just here to perform a function. The metro trains themselves are significantly faster here. Like, it definitely felt like we were flying through the underground before.
Please use the elevator on the right. Your safety matters. Thank you for your cooperation. For your own safety, please do not use the escalator if you're carrying bulky items and luggages.
Okay, yes, this is very similar to Sydney Metro, the glass paneling. Alright, where do we need to go? So we're in Expo. We need to get to this downtown Botanic Gardens. Right, so we need to go pretty far down. We need to go, downtown Bayfront. Okay, so we need to get on this one. 1 minute to Bukit Panjang. Yeah, very similar, like Sydney Metro, similar glass paneling, similar layout, how it displays the metro lines. This metro's probably been up and running significantly longer than the Sydney one. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest that this is where they got a lot of the ideas on how to do things, because, yeah, very impressive, clean, modern, fast. All right, significantly less people on this one.
Next station, Upper Changi, Changi. Upper Changi, Changi 上站. Please mind the gap. 请小心空隙. Berhati-hati di ruang platform. Baik itu kanan kiri berdiri, kanan kiri. Yours too. Next station, Tampines East. Back in
All right, found an exit. Moment of truth. Stepping out into the fresh air of Singapore. Oh, it's not as bad as I was expecting. I was expecting a massive wall of humidity to hit me. Slightly overcast, still early morning. Doesn't feel any different to Sri Lanka, Colombo for that matter. Aha, and right behind me up there we have the Marina Bay Sands. We're now in the CBD of Singapore, downtown. The shops at Marina Bay Sands. That's right, this whole massive complex here goes right under the Marina Bay Sands. Somewhere over here, I believe, is where the Merlion, or lion statue. It's on the other side of this waterway. I reckon I'll walk around. That side there will lead us to Gardens by the Bay. We'll probably get a significantly better view of Marina Bay Sands. impressions of Singapore, very modern, ultra developed, as expected, extremely clean. I've not seen a single piece of litter anywhere. Yeah, very spotless, not a single piece of chewing gum on the ground. Chewing gum is banned in public. Singapore's pretty well known for its strict laws in certain areas, which some people might complain about. But then again, a clean, modern city-state like this that became so wealthy and developed in such a short period of time, you could argue that that's the reason why, that they have strict rules and that they enforce them, rule of law. Singapore is also well renowned for being one of the safest countries on earth. It's very little crime here, really not much to worry about outside maybe scam. I've heard that there's a few areas where they have certain kinds of scams, although again they usually don't last long. They're usually pretty fast to deal with, that sort of stuff, but rarely like any like major crime. You really don't have to worry. You can walk around day and night, you'll be totally fine. Like, the stats speak for themselves. Australian cities have become a lot more unsafe, especially in certain areas, but yeah, I think Singapore is one of those places where it's very stable and pretty much can go anywhere and you really don't have to worry. So yeah, wander around and see what I see over there. That is the Merlion. Some big construction appears to be going on. You might notice on some signs that they're in 4 languages. I also noticed on the metro that the announcements were played on repeat in 4 languages. Because Singapore has 4 official languages, being English, Mandarin, Chinese, Malay, and Tamil. So yeah, Chinese, Malay, Tamil, that really just represents Singapore's diverse ethnic composition, while English is really a leftover of the British colonial era, although they've pretty much kept English since then. And yeah, English is the main language, of course, of government, education. No issues at all, no language barrier, everything's in English. Being an ex-British colony, same like Australia, Sri Lanka, Singapore does drive on the left. Wander and try to get a good vantage point. I just want one decent photo of that Merlion statue. Alright, here we go. Alright, I've got the damn photo. Now let's wander away from the massive crowd of Chinese tour groups. And yeah, walk along the waterfront here. I'll walk around this way, try to make our way to Gardens by the Bay. And I'm just making this up as I go. This is honestly my favorite style of travel. Like, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed the Sri Lanka trip. We had to plan it more. The fact that it was 4 of us, of course, but when you're on your own, it's a bit different. Of course, being a group trip, you have to plan a lot more. And yeah, definitely seeing things together, it was great. But at the same time, I also am a big fan and advocate of solo travel, which is what I'm doing right now. Because as a solo traveler, like, you can really, certain things you can really take in a lot more deeply. And also there's a lot more flexibility in terms of what you do. Like, I can just walk around today and just do whatever I want, go with the flow. Like, when there's multiple people, it's a bit hard to do that, because you're multiple people, you all might have different ideas of like what to do, where to stop the food and all that. I'm wholly responsible for my own enjoyment and entertainment. So yeah, I definitely recommend those of you that you haven't done it, give solo travel a go. Nothing wrong with traveling in a group. I thoroughly enjoyed my trip with those guys, and we'll definitely do some future trips together in the future. But at the same time, I also want to do more solo travel, which has been mostly what I've done so far. Alright, now I want to figure out how to cross the road. If this was Sri Lanka, we'll just jaywalk, but believe me, I'm not going to jaywalk here. No, not with Singapore laws. So we got to find a proper pedestrian crossing. We've got to get used to that again. I'm a bit out of the habit, because Sri Lanka, you've just got to carve a way through. They don't really have a concept of pedestrians. First in, first served. So Singapore, there's a clear order and structure for everything. So I've got to keep that in mind. Pretty much done a full lap. That's where we exited the mall. So we've gone a full walk around the bay here. Saw the important things. Now I want to go down to the actual, now I want to go down to the marina, the actual bay. Right, we've made it to the southern edge of Gardens by the Bay. What else is there to do but walk through it? There's a lot of things to check out. Meadow, all these things around here. The Super Tree Grove, we have to go and check that out. Many things around here. Cloud Forest sounds interesting. Flower Dome. All these different attractions here. Ah yeah, Satay by the Bay, so that's where you can go have some food places. Probably have breakfast there. Breakfast, brunch, lunch. Meadow, all these different places you can see. The main ones, of course, yes. Yeah, I have heard that these come to life at night. Super trees come to life, spectacular light and sound show at 7:45 p.m. and 8:45 p.m. nightly. One thing I'm really enjoying about Singapore is it's very peaceful. Very, very peaceful, especially compared to Colombo, which you spent a lot of time around in Sri Lanka. And really, I mean, Singapore is it's a reasonably large city-state, like 6 million, but doesn't feel overly crowded. Like, even like the maybe peak hour traffic flow is reasonably steady, not that much congestion. And I'm guessing that would be because Singapore has a very low rate of car ownership, because why would you really need a car here? The public transport system is excellent. To get here from the airport on the MRT cost like $2 Singapore dollars. Really fast, really efficient. You've got that, you've got buses, you've got all that. Like, really, why would you need a car if you lived in Singapore? It's a good day to come here as well. There's a nice breeze. It's not overly hot and humid, which is very surprising to me. I was expecting it to hit me like a train. Even when I briefly stepped out of the airport on the way here, it just hit me like a train. So yeah, that's a pleasant surprise. The next 4 or 5 days is just meant to be rain. So yeah, I can feel it building up now. But very lucky, no rain today, just overcast, cloudy, which is good, no sun beaming down. made it up onto the Skyway. It's 14 Singapore dollars for one adult to come up here, and you can be up for like 15 minutes. Yeah, it's pretty damn high. You can see. Sri Lanka to like go up Lotus Tower was $30 US, but yeah, $14 I think pretty reasonable. Singapore so far I have not found, you know, overly expensive. I mean, yeah, it's not cheap, but it's not like unreasonably expensive. The prices here seem quite reasonable. Very cool. You can really see here how it's just an artificial concrete pillar, and then you've got all this vegetation growing on it. It really looks nice and it's quite ingenious, and this damn skyway is swaying a bit. There looks to be another exit on this side. Really cool stuff. I can imagine how awesome it would be when it's lit up at night. I am going to prioritize sleep, however. Get to the hotel nice and early, turn in, get some good rest. So yeah, that's going to be it today for the sky trees. Interesting. Alright, found myself a food place, ordered myself some chicken satay, which is very famous here in Singapore. Ordered myself a 10-piece for $9, so very affordable. Myself some drinks as well, some water, let's stay hydrated in this tropical heat, and Japanese green tea drink, which will be pretty interesting. So yeah, it's lunchtime, getting pretty hungry, so we'll get a fuel up before heading up. I'm gonna do the cloud forest, I decided. It's $58, so that's a bit steep, and I already paid for the sky tree. So yeah, the sky trees was really the highlight one, what I really wanted to see. So I think I'll skip the cloud forest for today. I'd rather go to one of the nature reserves or botanical gardens and potentially do some hikes. I have read up that there's a few available. Let's give this Japanese green tea drink a go. Just chilled green tea. Oh, that's really nice. Big in this climate, tropical heat, chilled green tea, very nice. Can't go wrong with that. Alright, got myself 10 pieces of chicken satay, which are 90 cents each, so $9. Keeping it nice and light. Could have gone for a larger option, but no, I've had stomach problems, so I'm going to keep it light, just enough to fuel me up for the day. Let's give it a go. Chicken satay. And that is solid. That is some solid chicken. A little bit of spice to it, not too much, just really melts in your mouth, like really soft, tender. Skewer, no spoon or fork. Get that in. Very nice. really great food in Sri Lanka, but man, in Sri Lanka the meals are very heavy, and being around with relatives, like they literally just force feed you, and yeah, I was literally on the verge of exploding in Sri Lanka. So I want to take it light, not eat so much. It's a nice light power meal. I'm all fueled up. We are leaving Gardens by the Bay. If you want to find the metro, just look for this symbol and signs that say MRT, Mass Rapid Transit. I believe down here is another station. So yeah, I'm gonna head down there, catch the metro, and continue heading up the line. I'll just stick to the downtown line. Alright, here you can see a map of the entire MRT network. It's absolutely massive. I mean, Singapore itself, it's a pretty small country. It's a city-state. And yeah, this system covers pretty much the whole country. That's why I said, like, you really don't need a car if you live here. So we started off, of course, Changi Airport, went shortly on that line. We quickly swapped to Expo. And then, yeah, we followed this line, downtown line, all the way down, around, loop, downtown. You walk around, then yeah, Bayfront. Yeah, we've got out at Bayfront. That's like Marina Bay Sands, Gardens by the Bay, where we just were. And I think this one here, where are we? This one. So this connects. I want to go down to. We've even got this whole circular loop here, so I want to go down to the Marina South Pier. Yeah, somewhere around there. Then yeah, just even just keep following this, go up there, swap, yeah, whatever, and then I want to make my way to Botanical Gardens. Alright, well, I'll try to figure this thing out. It's pretty complex, but I just want to get to Botanic Gardens, explore around there, maybe find some nature reserve, and then see where else we go, and then eventually just make our way back to the airport where I'm staying overnight. It's currently 1 p.m. Here it's just showing the history of the development of Singapore. Started off as really nothing more than a small fishing town, but over the last century, just rapid growth, development, and yeah, extreme development and modernization under the leadership of Lee Kuan Yew, probably one of the greatest statesmen of the 20th century. I'm a big admirer of his. All right, so we can either go Bayshore or Woodlands North. So we're currently at Gardens by the Bay. So Woodlands North would be up there. That's where the line goes. So that would take us all along here. All right, I want to get to Botanic Gardens, so we need to swap at Stevens back onto the downtown line. So yeah, I'll probably do that. Go into downtown line, swap on the downtown line, go to Botanic Gardens, explore around there, and then slowly make my way back down the downtown line. Stop maybe along the way if anything else pops up, and slowly make our way back to the airport. I think that's going to be the plan.
Doors are closing. Please do not lean against the train doors. Next station, Marina Bay, Bin Hai Wan. Change at the next station for the Circle Line or North-South Line. 海湾。
Right, yeah. Stevens to Botanic Garden, yes, that's it. Bit of a maze down here, figuring out how to get to the right platform, but there's plenty of signs everywhere, so slowly figuring it out. Really, once you look at the map a few times, it's not that complicated once you figure out which stations to swap. Yes, to Botanic Gardens, perfect. Downtown line. Alright, we've made it to the Singapore Botanic Gardens. This is by far the best metro I've ever used. I mean, Sydney Metro was great, like really no complaints about Sydney Metro, but still it's a reasonably new metro system and it functions pretty similarly to Singapore MRT, Mass Rapid Transit, but it's by no means that extensive. Like this is so extensive it pretty much covers the entire city-state. So yeah, you can get pretty much anywhere in Singapore just on the MRT, and it's very cheap, very affordable. Like my initial trip to get to the Bay Area only cost like $2. So yeah, it's very affordable, very fast. There's some other nature reserves close by. Maybe see if we can pop across to those. Apart from that, just go on a nice relaxing stroll, and then yeah, I'll slowly start heading back on the downtown line. It took me like an hour to get to the Bay. It'll probably be more like 90 minutes to get back to the airport. Okay, I've wandered on a little bit, got off the bus. It didn't quite go to where I thought it was going to go, so I got off a bit later at the next stop, and it was reasonably close to the Clementi Nature Trail, which I am currently hiking right about now. I couldn't film a lunch back there because it's right next to a military base, and they have big signs saying strictly no photography or filming, so of course I don't want to get in trouble, not in this country, believe me. So oh, what's that? Something's in the bushes. So yeah, this is believe it or not, the main road's right up here. You see these high-rise buildings. We are heading deep into a nature reserve, the Clementi Trail. Yeah, this looks to go right through the heart of this nature reserve, and there's signs warning about wild monkeys, of course. Yeah, don't feed the monkeys, be careful interacting with monkeys. There's also signs warning of wild boar. There have been wild boar spotted, so yeah, you gotta have your wits about you. Signposts. This is all next to the military base, so I can't film it. Yeah, and signs warning of yeah, don't go here at night. There's no street lighting. So yeah, believe it or not, Singapore has nature. All right, I mean, it's not really that surprising to me because with my style of exploring cities, I tend to be pretty good at uncovering these sorts of places. Like looking back to the Sydney and Melbourne trip that I've done on this channel. Yeah, I went to like all the most popular tourist sites, but then I wanted to like see more hidden parts as well. So yeah, we're right here walking the Clementi Nature Trail. It seems to be pretty well maintained, as everything is in Singapore. So we'll walk through here, pretty much right to the other edge of the nature trail. I have no idea how long this goes on. It shouldn't take too long. So we'll hike through here, see where it leads, and after that I would say it'll probably have been enough of a day exploring. I'm starting to get quite tired. My legs are already sore. We've done a lot of walking and we're about to do some more because I love walking, I love hiking, but yeah, I'm starting to get really tired. Had pretty much no sleep last night, so try to get to the hotel and turn in early. There might be something else that catches my eye. Ooh, goanna, hey! Yes, yes. See, there is wildlife here in Singapore. Wow, who would have thought? Now, a lot of people don't realize, even in urbanized settings, there is a surprising amount of wildlife about. But yeah, gotta keep my wits about me. Gotta deep breaths. Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying Singapore so far. I am very, very impressed. It's pretty much exactly as I expected, which was already like up there. I already had, even before coming here, like just from what I heard and what I have seen, just from what I've heard, I've already had quite a positive impression of Singapore. But now coming here and getting to experience it, it pretty much solidifies that it's a great place to transit through. Like if you're transiting through Singapore, definitely don't just stay in the airport. Like come out, explore for a day or even a few days, maybe. Yeah, a day's, even coming for a day, I think you can see a good amount, at least all the major sites. But I would say Singapore, to really get a good view of Singapore, Singaporeans watching this could probably give a proper itinerary of how to cover the whole city-state. But I would say to cover everything or most of it, probably around 3 days or so, maybe 3 to 5 days, depending on what you do each day. That's if you want to get a full comprehensive overview. Probably 3 days would be a good amount of time if you really want to get a good overview. So yeah, in the future, I think if I transit through Singapore, I'll definitely stop by. I'm familiar with how the system works now. Big thumbs up. Singapore public transport, it's the best that I've seen so far. I mean, I was very impressed with Sydney's public transport when I visited. They've definitely upped their game. The metro in Sydney is a game changer, but it definitely does not come close to beating Singapore, which has arguably had probably one of the best public transport systems in the world for quite some time now. So I'm very impressed with the public transport, the infrastructure. Of course, everything's very clean. You'll barely see any litter anywhere. You're not going to see any homeless people. It's very safe, very little crime. Yeah, they have some very strict laws that they do enforce, so there is strict rule of law. But yeah, overall, I'm just very impressed. Proposed construction of nature trail at Bukit Timah Military Hill. All right, well, we can't continue, unfortunately. Okay, all right, we can't. Well, that's the end of this. Yeah, we did a little bit of a walkthrough here, but all right, it was worth a try. So what am I gonna do? What's the time? Oh, it's almost 3 p.m. All right, you know what? I am a bit of a while away from a metro station, so it's a bus stop out here. Well, this is the only reason I came, so the only thing I can really do is go back to the bus stop. Yeah, go catch the bus, and yeah, that's really about it. Go catch the bus, get back to the metro station and take the metro back home. Back in the metro. We're near the end of the downtown line, so I want to start heading all the way back. It's gonna take a while, probably 90 minutes at least, I would guess. So we'll probably get back to the airport only about like 5 anyway. So that was my goal. So yeah, I didn't quite get to explore as much around the nature reserves as I wanted to. Botanical gardens looked alright, but nothing that special compared to other ones I've seen. So I wanted to get to like a proper hiking trail with nature reserve. Couldn't quite get there. That trail was under construction, blocked off. So yeah, I think I'll have to call it a day from there. That's pretty much the end of my exploration of Singapore. We'll definitely have to return sometime in the not too distant future, potentially when transiting through Southeast Asia. Again, it's definitely a great hub to do that. But yeah, that's about it. We'll head back in the Jewel. About to check into my hotel. It's very lively now, as you can see. First of all, I want to go have a look at this waterfall because it is indeed running now. That is mighty impressive. The world's largest indoor artificial waterfall. They've done a great job. Got this right next to the hotel, so that's one reason I thought, why bother paying $58 for the cloud forest? I mean, this is amazing enough, right in the airport, pretty much. So, yeah, let's go find the hotel, check in, and yeah, if I want dinner, I'm not even sure I'll have dinner. I'm considering just skipping and having a fasting evening. But if I really want something, I can just come down here, find somewhere to eat.